that camera is not working, which showed us, but that camera is working, and that shows y'all.
So it's gonna be
Yeah, anyway. Behave, don't do anything, and we've got Will Bolton with WBAM, so don't do anything. Although I should tell them not to do anything newsworthy, but anyway, if y'all do something newsworthy after y'all leave here. Anyway, it is 6 o'clock. I will get Craig Strickland to say the prayer and lead us in a pledge. Everyone is here. Our attorney is joining us via phone.
Everybody else, please. Lord, we are eternally grateful to you that you allow us to once again lead this city. We ask for your guidance in our words, our thoughts, our actions, and our deeds, and forgive us where we fail you, Lord. I pray all this in your son's name, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As far as crowds go, y'all, that was a great start. It is kind of funny. Some people watch this after the fact. So anyway, let's keep going. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion.
I've got a motion and a second. All in favor? Is there a motion to accept the consent agendas 1 through 5?
Motion.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, public comment. Mr. James, come on up here. Mr. James? Yeah, come on up here. And if you would, just get right to the podium right there, and as opposed to you explaining what your situation is, I think Melissa might be able to save us some time and explain what's going on with this. Mr. Carlos has, what was it? We have some old water bills.
He has some old receipts from where he paid deposits back in 96, 99, 2001. Is that what they were, Mr. Carlos?
I got those, but I got really more than that, but being on how to come, go through this to get them, I want to get all of them.
That he doesn't believe he
One
was
is
ever
96.
I have no way of looking it up.
You don't own those, you don't own those properties anymore?
Yeah, I still have, some of them, but I'm gonna be getting rid of the rest of them.
He doesn't have the water in his name. I guess they're rental properties or whatever, Mr. Carlos.
It's rental property.
So
Is it, okay, say that.
they should have been refunded or applied to his,
Whenever you close the account,
yes.
typically the
But we have
process.
no record of it being in his name because of changing into the different accounting system in 2012.
Mhm.
So I don't have any way to look it up to verify if it was applied or if it was refunded.
And I would go on with the assumption, I know if it would have happened today, and that would have happened, you come in and close your account, it's refunded via your last bill. So I would have go under the assumption that that's what would have took place there, and without any evidence contrary to that, I don't know really what we could do from a file standpoint. Melissa says that it'd be fairly difficult from a digital standpoint. We only go back
To 2012.
to 2012, and some of these are from the 90s.
Is there any, on the updated?
He has no deposits in the updated, system.
Rocky, any input? That's what we were gonna throw on you.
No, I think what you're thinking on this is correct, Mayor. I mean, we don't really have any proof that we didn't refund it. That's our standard procedure. That's the way we've always done it. I believe that's the way we did it this time. We need some kind of proof to show that we did not follow our standard procedures. That's kind of where I land on that.
Is that all you've got, Mr. Chan? How many do you have there?
I have one for 99, one for 2000, one for 01.
No, I didn't make copies of it.
How much do they total?
I didn't bring all those with me at the time that I came.
The
You
deposit,
last
had
week,
4 that day.
I
when you
just
came.
brought a couple of them.
Mhm.
the deposit is $100 now. It may
Those
have been
those were
less.
50, I think.
That'd be $150.
No, he's got 4 of them.
That's a big $200.
And it is one of those things, obviously, I
I
mean,
don't know what we
this
do.
isn't gonna make or break us, but I know in y'all's position, I don't get a vote in it, but anyway, I know from a board standpoint, they're probably gonna need something a little bit more substantial to hang their hat on, to help out here, and it's not due to a lack of desire to help out, especially with a small amount of money like this.
I have 5 altogether right here.
And you say a couple of those that you got in your hand are actually still in your name? Is that-
Yeah.
No, I don't,
No, well,
All of them are out of your name?
didn't have any water
they're
currently.
not presently on my name.
Yeah.
But I never did turn in for a refund because when people move out, I try to keep the water on instead of coming back and, but a couple of times I didn't do that, and I had to pay a deposit on the same property a couple of different times.
When's the last time that you did something of that nature?
Oh, see. What I have.
When was the last
here.
time you came to close out an account or something like that?
01.
Okay.
So Rocky, based on your, opinion and expertise, this is something we're not gonna be able to do unless we can find it, right?
That's right, unless we've got better proof than, somebody remembering from 20 years ago. I mean, I know it's hard to remember, and it's been a long time, but we've got standard procedures that we've always followed, and so I think we've got to put our trust in that.
Okay.
That's what I don't know that the bank should even go back that far, Rocky, and tell me if we ever issued him a check.
That's right.
Check a couple things and see what we can do. So far, no good, but let's just want someone to double check something.
The other one I have applied for demolition permit, paid them, and I never got my permit. And in the same day, gentleman offered me to buy that place, so I asked him to fund my money.
Does
It wouldn't.
does he have anything to tear
Yeah.
down?
That was in,
He doesn't owe anything.
Okay.
Doesn't have any credits either.
Okay.
I might have said, came for the permit in March, maybe.
If you'll go down to the building department, I'll talk with you about it tomorrow. Because that would actually run to another department.
Yeah.
And then it ends up with us. But, I'll double check as well on some of this stuff. Even if you would have sent somebody, down here to set up a water account and take your name out of it, they still would have done that same refunding process typically. But that's so long ago, it's won't be.
And if the mayor finds it-
Anyway, I'll talk with you tomorrow.
If he finds
Anyway, but I
something,
was-
he can let us know what he finds.
What I was telling Carlos is even, and typically, if somebody comes down there, I sell my house to somebody and say, hey, you need to go get everything in your name. The last bill he would have, somebody would have gotten, would have taken into account that process. So just to let everybody know that. But I'll call Mr. Carlos tomorrow and see, just to double check a couple things. I don't want anybody to think over $150. I thought they were doing better than that down there.
It's 250, wasn't it?
Yeah, 250. Yeah, that kind of gets into not necessarily a lack of desire to help, but really the legalities of it. And then all of a sudden, if you're doing it the wrong way, all of a sudden this room will be full. But anyway,
Is that all the public?
all right, Mr. James, appreciate you. That's all the comments. So we got no proclamations and resolutions, no business closed, no old business. So let's go to general business. Number 6, request to accept the engineering agreement with Child, German and Waits for Sherry Lynn Drive culvert replacement.
Motion.
Is there a second? And this is basically for that washout that took place on Sherry Lynn during our
That big
storm
rain,
a
yeah.
couple months ago. And I'll go ahead and tell y'all, this is the contract part of it, then we'll put it out to bid. It's gonna probably be a big number. Before I come to the board for a recommendation, with a recommendation, there will be money to take care of it, but it's kind of one of those things we'll end up having to do at some point to get that road taken care of. And it's just in a bad spot for us. But anyway, got a motion, got a second, all in favor? Number 7, request to authorize the trade of one 2011 Ford E350 16-passenger van with that VIN number to Mac Hike Ford for $20,000 toward the purchase of one 2022 Ford 150 police responder for $17,796. Is there a motion?
Hey, we need to, actually make a motion to rescind the order sending that van to auction, because we already approved to send it to auction, but it's never went,
I'll make a motion, we rescind the motion to send it to auction
and authorize the trade-in.
and authorize the trading.
Okay, got a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Number 8, request to purchase 3 multi-gas detectors from Ritz Safety at a cost of $14,316 out of state rebate fund. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Number 9, request to purchase 1 Bauer compressor from Sunbelt Fire in the amount of $23,763.70 out of state rebate funds.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Request to transfer 4 Patriot plates and carriers from the police department to the Petal Fire Department. Is there a motion? Got a second?
What's the Patriot plate?
Isn't that, that's those heavy weights?
Yeah, we replaced them with, newer, up-to-date, a little bit lighter ones that they can actually wear in their current vest, so
Okay,
they don't
okay.
carry 2 vests.
I understand, thank you.
Yep.
Chief, what you gonna do? You gonna walk the stairs with them?
No.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor? Number 11, request to grant conditional use for property located at 411 East Central Avenue, allowing a diesel repair business to have no more than 3 vehicles to be repaired outside of the building's bay, not including a personal vehicle, and vehicles no larger than 1-ton vehicles, per the Planning Commission's recommendation. Is there a motion?
Motion
Is there a second?
Second.
with, question. Is that where Danny's automotive was?
No.
Oh, I got you, okay.
Got a motion, got a second, all in favor? Number 12, request to grant a special exception for the property located at 873 US Highway 11 to use gravel in the rear parking area instead of concrete asphalt per the Planning Commission's recommendations. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Request to set a hearing date of January 10th at 6 p.m. for property located at West Central with the listed parcel number. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Got another one, number 14, request to set a hearing date of January 10th at 6 p.m. for property located at 113 West 5th Avenue.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Request to approve the docket of claims for the month of November 2022.
Motion.
Motion with the second, pay
Motion
bills.
and second, all in favor? Sound like what Willie used to say,
That's right.
pay them bills. Number 16, request to set a hearing date of January 10th, 6 p.m. for property located at 1106B Old Rixton Road.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 17, request to dispose of 1 Insignia 46-inch television with that serial number in the police department.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
But you know what's wrong with it?
Where the cable goes into the motherboard, probably slap off.
Oh, okay. All right.
It was old anyway.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Number 18, let's pay the estimate, number 1, in the amount of $572,496.09 to CB Developers for Dawson Cutoff Sewer Replacement.
Motion.
For discussion,
Okay, second for discussion, go ahead.
are they responsible for these sinkholes that are popping up? Because I didn't want this paved until
Yeah,
it's
that-
settled.
That's who we've contacted to come out and address this.
Okay.
If there's any issue on their end.
It's
getting it
dangerous,
fixed.
Tony, when you get down that hill going to the right.
And I'll go ahead and say, I think we keep it shut down until we get to a point where we say, okay, good, we just keep it open.
And you know, right there at that bottom, it is always had a sinkhole there. Well, every time we've ever paved it, you know, like I said, I've raised it, but I mean.
The
it's
hole
always
they
been-
dug 60-year-old dirt right there and expected it to go over and then sealed it very, very quickly.
Mm.
I wasn't in favor of that.
Yeah.
Okay, got a motion, got a second, all in favor? Um, Number 19, request to pay estimate number 3 in the amount of $45,835.12 to Greenbrier for McSwain Water Improvements. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second? All in favor? Number 20, request to refund cash bond for M. Housley in the amount of $1,197.50.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, this will be a little more complicated. I want to make some changes, or did you add that to number 22?
I passed them out, but they showing the additional amount,
Okay.
I didn't give them the total.
Number 22, or 21, I'm sorry, request to adjust services bill to 537 East Central Avenue as follows, due to a leak. And we actually have some updated numbers for this singular leak. That's what it should be instead of that.
Mhm.
Okay,
We all got those numbers.
it should be, yeah, you should see the numbers below for a 4,779.
Mhm.
Actually, the new total would be 4,779.12. Is there a motion? Can I get a second for
Motion,
is there a second for a conversation?
second, and I know he did around $10,000 water line.
You're up.
Right there.
I got the, water line fixed. I got that first bill, I contacted Tony, which was, $2,243.91. Then I got the next one, and I contacted Tony, and I said, hey, we want to back up and punt. Let's see, it was $3,243.91, and the old one, I was wrong on that, the old one, the October bill was $2,448.22. So, what I did was got a new water line installed that is supposed to be heavy duty. And this is the invoice on it, which is $9,801.20. So the entire water bill, tax title and everything added together, what I came up with was $5,692. Now that's tax and everything. Whatever y'all can do on that entire water bill and sewer bill, we appreciate it.
Was that water line that's old and?
No,
Just-
I don't know exactly what it was, the regular PVC, which, you know, stays in the ground forever.
Yeah.
But, they don't know exactly what happened to it. That's why I told them to dig it all up and replace it with this heavy, it's like a heavy industrial PEX.
Mhm.
And he said we should never have another problem again, so let's hope not.
Yeah, the number I just called out, the reason there's two different numbers is this would be the actual, the forgiveness part of it.
Okay,
Obviously, there's some, I think you go back and do the averages.
6 months.
Yeah, you go back over the last 6 months and see what the average number would have been.
Yep.
And that's how they come up with that number. But, any other questions?
that
was a big number that you used to fix it.
oh yeah, the whole thing, pipe and everything, was $15,493.32.
You got watched a lot of cars to get that.
Oh, good Lord, man. I had to pray on that one. So, I got one question for the council, though, but
Yeah, great.
if any resident or business had a water leak, is there any way, like when they read the meter, that they can say, hey, there's a water leak here, we need to notify them? Because what happened to this one, it was shot straight down in the dirt, so it never was on.
Usually it does. They've got the old meters on them.
It'll show, yeah, depends on what the meter is.
Yeah, some of our percentages too, we have reached out to people in cases if we can catch it. We don't guarantee it, but if we can catch it, we would go ahead and let you know.
Okay.
I had the same thing under my office over there on Ward Street. I had 11,000 gallons and I can't tell you where it went. I
Really?
went to climb under the building. I just knew I was fixing to get wet as dry as a bone.
I had 350,000 gallons the first month, 400,000 gallons the second month, so you would think there would be some water somewhere,
Yeah.
but there was not. That's why I
That's a
freaked
scary
out.
thought, that water's going somewhere.
Yeah.
It's that ground absorbing it pretty quick. isn't it?
Went down and went somewhere.
I'm gonna predict
So
we're
if
gonna have a sinkhole.
If your car wash sinks into the ground, we'll know.
Yeah, y'all know that. Yeah.
Real loud, yeah. Good job, Austin. I appreciate you.
Thank you, I appreciate y'all.
And just so you'll know, I had the guy come to my door and say, I think you got a busted pipe. No, my son had run the water pipe out to the backyard, and it was filling up the pond behind us. How long has that been on? He said, oh, about a month. I think, Bill.
Also, we've got, Got a motion, got a second, all in favor? Okay. Yeah, they'll do the
I
math.
wish they paid this one.
Yeah, I think you
Did
guys
they
have
say
to
y'all
pay
haven't
some of
paid
it.
the November bill?
Yeah, we paid last month.
So y'all will end up with a credit.
You need to come up here and talk with them. I mean, the number, we got numbers flying around, but it'll be the corrected numbers and the actual stuff.
Yeah, whatever I need to be done.
It'll look better than it did.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. Thank y'all.
Number 22, request to adjust services bill to 211 West 7th Avenue, due to a leak. That's water, $424, and late fees of $63. Is there a motion?
We can't see ours, is everything there? We can't see the breakdown. Is everything there?
Yeah. It should be about
Should've been in the-
307, something like that.
Oh, is it real light?
I'm sorry, 507, 507.
Yeah, water that and then the late fee side of it.
Yeah.
Okay, question.
Got a motion, is there a second?
It won't let me go to it.
Second.
Yeah, they did fill out that.
Yes.
All in favor? Yes, Steve, you're slipping on that.
I know, I let it go. didn't I?
Yes, I can go that way.
Number 23, is there a motion, request to accept the plans and specifications for soccer fields and authorize to advertise for bids? Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Discussion.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do we, my lack of engineering knowledge and reading and such is gonna be very apparent, but have we looked into irrigating these? Is that
That's,
part of the?
Drew and I had that conversation. I've had that conversation multiple times with John. There's a couple, we do have some. It's gonna be more of a manual type system, and we did double check with what Hattiesburg has over at Tatum, and they really have a little of everything. They've got a great system, they've got a manual system, and they've got no system. So, this would be more of a spigot situation where you put kind of like a farmer does for a pivot. So they would hook in, but they'd have to manually take out a hose and do all of that. There was, if we did the full-blown irrigation, there was a couple complications. One being the fear of putting you have to use high-grade material, because you wouldn't want to have a bunch of sprinkler heads where the fields are at. We're not dead on sure how that's going to go, because we're going to be able to move them around. Might have a big field one year, two little fields the next year. So that was also an issue, and the number was going to approach. We were just spitballing. The number was going to be 75,000 plus from that standpoint. And some of the previous numbers I was just getting, and we don't know till the river meets the road, the numbers come in. But some of the numbers we were hearing, I was already hearing, were more than I think we were thinking about doing it. Of course, those were 3 and 4 years ago. Go numbers. So, but there is a plan to make sure it does get water. Now, if the numbers come back in lower, I do think we could come in and that does create an opportunity for us to go in and get a little more in depth with it.
Is there a way to at least just get that information?
Yeah, I mean, I can get
even
John.
put that into
I would like that
to
too.
the bids and everything, just to find out, because if it worked out, I would much rather
Let's go ahead and do it now.
do that way.
You're talking $100,000 plus just for irrigation.
Well, let's just look at it.
Yeah.
So you're turning a 300 into a 450.
Well,
I can do it.
Just.
I'd rather, if we're gonna do them, let's do them right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
450?
Let's get the price.
yeah, I think there's nothing wrong with getting
Yeah,
a mod on it. And the reason I'm saying is we're putting about 5 acres of
My
sod down.
suggestion then would be to table this and just redo the whole thing then.
Because we're putting $65,000 worth of sod down and trusting that we're gonna roll around some tripods.
Well, they did do that in Hattiesburg and didn't have anything
Yeah.
on the new field.
The total high school fields use sprinklers, and I think if we're gonna put that, if we're invested, let's try to do it right versus come back in 2 years now saying we just burned it all up.
I'll change my motion.
Table it.
Yep.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Number 24, request to accept the plans and specifications for Eastover sewer improvements and authorize to advertise for bids. Is there a motion?
Move to amend.
Okay, well, I've got to have a motion in a second.
Actually,
That's his motion is he wants to make a motion, but put that in it.
Okay, is there a second to do what Drew wants to do with, I think we've all got the info for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, just to add a butterfly valve, and that we talked about.
You want to get Steve to add anything to that?
I think,
Information wise, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go back and look at the ordinance, and put some fees associated with that.
well, yeah, that's for cutoffs, but this is just for actually the project
Yes,
itself.
yeah.
That, what we talked with John and
Shut
that
off
simple,
valves.
yeah, the butterfly, cutoff valve prior to the, pull-out valves will be, and like I said, with John, he's ready to add that small
Okay.
amendment to it, be about $8,500-ish. But it'll future-proof us for future issues out when people don't pay their sewer water bills.
Just for spec, how many houses?
84,
At $100.
And then, like I said, we're looking at addressing the ordinances for all new builds and for people who are wondering what we're talking about, when we don't have control of the water bill, we can't turn off water if somebody decides not to pay their sewer bills. So, if we ever decide to try to cut off the sewer, then it's a big incident to try to.
Yeah, we have to basically go and dig your backyard up now.
So we're trying to, as we look at doing a big project out of Eastover, which is a great project, and it'll save us a lot of money in infiltration. I mean, it'll cost someone a pretty big penny, but they'll save us a lot in the long run. If we can future-proof ourselves about people not paying their sewer water bills, whereas the easy way for us to go turn off the sewer, because usually it happens inside the city and city water, we just turn on city water, and there's nothing flushed down, and you can't. But when when Barrontown and Spring or Sunrise have control of the water, they won't necessarily turn it off for us, and rightly so, because that's not their job. So that's what all this was about. But based on that, Mayor, I'm ready to vote.
Okay, is there a second? Second. All in favor? All the orders and ordinances, number 26, request to hire, Joseph. Oh, I'm sorry. Drew, I'm trying to cut you out of seminars and travel. 25, request for Alderman Brookson to attend MML Midwinter Conference in Ridgeland, Mississippi, January 10th through the 12th, 2023, at a cost of $1.50. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Now, number 26, request to hire Joseph Harrison, full-time in the fire department as a recruit firefighter, at a rate of $12.7521 per hour, effective December 16th. Is there a motion? Motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All righty, number 27. Should have done this first, shouldn't we? Request to adopt an ordinance authorizing exemption from certain municipal ad valorem taxes on certain new structures and new renovations of and improvements to existing structures lying within designated central business district, and approve the application for said exemption. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Drew, or Blake?
So we've finally gotten to the point where we're passing our central business district ordinance. I'm real excited for it. Basically, it's going to allow forgiveness for new businesses for either 3, 5, or 7 years, depending on how much money they spend, or for current businesses based on if they spend $5,000 or more on renovations. And that'll go for the full 7 years. In large part, that's because of, since that'll be a smaller number, we wanted to extend that out as far as it can possibly reach to help incentivize renovations and help our downtown area. The northern district, as y'all see, is this intersection right up here, Main and Central, and going on down through West Central. And then our southern district is down by the bridge. Super excited about all of that. I know the one thing that we had spoken about in the past was some concerns about the river district. Speaking with the attorneys from Forest County, it does not seem like there's any conflict whatsoever. Speaking with him, he had said that, yes, we owe 15% of all collective taxes in that district, which our southern district is completely within the river district. However, there's nothing that says that we can't grant abatements or anything like that that helps us set up this program. So we're good on that end from their attorney, perfectly fine. So I did want to make special mention to Caitlin, who's here representing the ADP. She's helped immensely in setting all this up and getting us set, ready to go. And yeah, was there anything you'd like to add?
No, we're just really excited about this partnership. I love working with you guys. My family lives in Petal, so I'm not a stranger. I lived here at one point in my life. I know I live in Hattiesburg now, but I love this place and I'm excited to see it grow forward with this new project.
So, you gentlemen have any questions or anything like that?
Is this nested with the county? Are they on board now?
Yes, went and spoke with the county. That's when we spoke to the attorney. Spoke with our representative Director Ross in this area, and everyone else, and we've pretty much got it locked down. They're aware of the fact that we're asking them to pass this same ordinance. That way we can really maximize the amount of abatement.
They were waiting until we did it first, right?
Sir?
They were waiting until we got it done first.
They're waiting until we got it done first, yes, sir. They wanted to follow our lead on it, and so, but they're aware of it. And from everything that I can tell, they're perfectly happy with the ordinance as it stands. So it should be good on that front.
Cool. Anything else, guys?
I'd like to add, like, you worked really hard on this. You've been professional about it. You did your due diligence. Thank you for your hard work on it.
Absolutely.
I
I
appreciate it.
was excited. And again, ADP was there with me pretty much the entire time. Started, spoke with Todd Jackson about this about a year ago now. And so, but finally, we think we got it right. And excited that it's finally here.
Just to follow up on it, Mayor, how do we get this out to the business owner? I mean, I know a lot of times we do stuff inside and it's over out there, but a lot of times it's getting the good news out to every swinging business owner that's out there.
Actually, I think
Get down
Caitlin would be
your
a-
powers, huh?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, the media. Yeah.
I think Caitlin would be excellent to address that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've actually written a marketing strategy for this project. So it would include social media, it would include a ribbon cutting that we would facilitate. And so we would have map renderings at that ribbon cutting. So we have a lot of things in the works and we're really excited about it. So do not worry about that. The word will get out and we'll make sure of it.
There's one thing we like to cover, it's a ribbon getting cut, that's for sure.
All right, I got a, motion, got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All righty, number 28, request to adopt an order hiring Zachary Cook as first class officer in the police department effective 12/14. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second? All in favor? Request to adopt order promoting Kaylin Wright to second class dispatcher effective December 14th. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Discussion. Is Chief's not here or?
No.
Yeah.
Barham, man.
Oh, yeah.
Barham.
We hired Kaylin about a year ago, right? And then she just finished her criminal justice degree from USM in May. And like I said, so this promotion track, I know dispatchers are something critical to your all's team. So I appreciate you, continue to develop our homegrown team. We just can't let them escape.
No.
So,
And like I said, hopefully this will keep them here.
so thank you.
It's like I said, she's been here a year, and so it's time for her, and then she'll get one more, and then she'll be, have that first class dispatch.
Okay, got a motion, got a second. All in favor? All righty, and the mayor's report I wanted to pass along, and the reason I did the palm tree loop, and I actually put it on here, is because I'll forget. So anyway, $3,500 can get that, can bring that home. Yes, it's more than we can get, but it's still cheaper than going the other route. So in the big course of business, it is what it is. So I would ask that the board would turn me loose to make that happen. And then we can kind of move forward from that standpoint. If there's any objections, y'all just let me know. Okay, and I'll pass that along. And we've got Officer Wilson here tonight.
We got this match first.
Oh, okay, got a motion, got a second, all in favor? By the way, I did want to say also in my mayor's report before we turn the Todd loose, is a year, that's actually record speed in the government world. So anyway, nice job, Blake. Officer Wilson, we had talked, I talked with Chief earlier a little bit, and Alderman Bullock and myself had talked about dogs, obviously. I guess it goes away and it comes back. Kind of one of those things. The kennels are full everywhere pretty much.
Yes, sir.
We did discuss other options. Obviously, there's two other entities here. and kind of revisited that with Chief. If we do anything of that nature, obviously they're gonna require contracts, which would be a budgetary item, and they'd be looking for X amount of dollars. I did have an interesting conversation, because I want to say I had it with you, and may have had it with Alderman Stringer, about possibly expansion at the one place we do have a relationship with, and Jessie said she would be, open to those discussions.
Good.
So that was really kind of what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
And obviously, money kind of heals a lot of wounds. So obviously but there's some options for that. But obviously it's something that we continue to be concerned with. And obviously we want to make it better. Every time I have a conversation with one of the aldermen, 12 years ago when I was first became an alderman, we had Southern Pines. And yes, they would get full, and then all of a sudden we had another entity. Well, now they're full. Now there's a third entity, and that's full. So some things are different over the last decade that we didn't have to address. And I just don't know if it's the way people handle this issue. We get a lot of folks have moved in from up north, and they're blown away by some of our lax rules and laws when it comes to the ownership of animals. That being said, I think if any of us were to put something together that Just Pedal was doing, we would probably be wasting our time. Unless it was something done on a state level, or at least, at the very least, the regional level. But I know Officer Wilson does a lot of work trying to find places. And matter of fact, I'll get with you afterwards, because we can tell him one place. Some of the more rural parts of our town, unfortunately, are a haven for folks to try to drop. They think it's the humane thing to do. They drop it off, and then here we go. And they're coming in from, anywhere in the Pine Belt, so to speak. And I say that knowing that one of the best dogs I ever had was a dog that got dropped off at my house. But anyway, I don't want that consistently.
What's your address again?
Two dogs and 2 cats, and so we're good right now. What's the last number on cats? You were over 300 last time we talked.
over 5 right now.
Wow. That you treated and returned, right?
Yes, sir.
And just a reminder, I sometimes feel like a broken record, but what studies have shown that if you can't euthanize your way out of the problem, so if you keep trying to euthanize them, what happens is other cats are territorial, they're going to move into that area. So what they have found has been a fairly effective way of doing it is that if we catch a stray cat, we're going to get them neutered and returned to that area. So it's the long game, but it is what it is. And we're trying to also, we spend over 6 figures addressing this problem. We talk about us having animal control. The county doesn't have animal control. I'm not suggesting they should or need to. Well, it probably wouldn't hurt, but at the same time, they'd run into the same situations that we run into. Where do you take them when you catch them? So anyway, it's something we continue to address. Also, I would say that it is Pick Up Pedal Week. I want to traditionally do that the week after homecoming parade, because we've got a lot of folks visiting our town this time of year. So we would like to put our welcome mat out for everybody. And I think one of the things that we do is to have a clean city. Reminding you that when you see people out there picking up trash, that's your tax dollars out there picking up trash. And if they've got to pick up a bunch of trash, they're not doing something else. So it's a number. Everything's a number. When we sit down in August, it's all a number. Dogs, cats, and trash. And so anything we can do to curb those things and get the numbers going the other way is a benefit for us. Not to mention, we've got officers that see you doing stuff, throwing trash out. When you gas up, you're paying, what, $3 a gallon? Use their trash can. Just consider it a benefit for paying $3 a gallon. I also, since we've mentioned the county several times, the sewer project that we voted on earlier to kind of start pushing forward is in Eastover. It is not even in the city of Petal. When the city of Petal annexed, we ended up with some sewer, some residents on our sewer that are outside of the city. So obviously, some of the stuff and investigation that Alderman Brookson did is trying to make sure that, if you're not even in the city, we want you to pay, because if other people are having to pay, and I always use the 80-year-old widow, if she's having to pay, Miss Ada, if you have to pay, everybody can pay, can't they?
That's right.
There we go. So we want to be very vigilant. I want folks to know that we're this administration, this board is serious about but, you know, we're not trying to be heavy-handed. We just, you know, we're offering a service, and when we shoot stuff over to the other side of the Leaf River to Hattiesburg, we get a bill every month. That bill comes whether you're paying us or not. So we need to make sure those things take place. Also, I would say, I appreciate our businesses that work for us and work with us
I appreciate
on
y'all.
these type of situations. And I do appreciate that. We always want to help out and make things better
Thank you.
when it's all said and done. And I would welcome Will Polston here tonight with WDAM. Hope everything's going good, and appreciate Caitlin. We've got the visitor. Got any other visitors here tonight?
We have Adam Trader here from the AG.
Oh, hey, I don't have my long glasses on.
Came to support Caitlin.
Anyway, we like when our fellow folks come visit us for sure. Appreciate that. Carrie, come to more meetings. Officer Barham, always a pleasure to have you here. I noticed one day, one time, whenever you have 30 or more items, Chief doesn't show up to those meetings. I'm not sure what's going on.
Scared him off, I guess.
Before we go though, I have been told that we could actually vote on that stuff that we just tabled. Man, Melissa's gonna kill me. We can actually vote on it, and John can make all this happen, and we don't have to wait. It don't have to cost us 2 weeks. Y'all want to,
Make
Make that
my
sound.
original motion.
On what?
With
On the, soccer field.
fields.
They can do it on that. We can go ahead and vote and give them approval to get that.
Adding irrigation.
Irrigation.
Quotes.
I'll make my motion that we go ahead and get that price out while we're doing it.
And is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's all I got. Is there a?
Before we do, going back to the animal thing, Todd just, you know, a lot of folks expect way too much of one guy right there. And he just does a tremendous job. We appreciate what he does, but he needs our help. And we've got folks out in our city, who are just letting their dogs roam whenever they want to. And they're not being responsible dog owners. And I think we've gotten city ordinance already in place to deal with that as far as what it is. I think we as a board need to discuss what we need to do, and the discussion can come at another time if we need to, but we need to do it as soon as possible of what we need to do as far as fines and fees and letting our people know, get it in their brain that if you've got a dog, you are responsible for your dog. And it doesn't need to be roaming around the neighborhood or up and down the streets and we only have one animal control guy, you know, and we need probably 3 or 4 to do the job that needs to be done because people are irresponsible with their pets. So I think we as a city need to get serious about our ordinances when it comes to fines, and we need to come up with a plan and advertise it to the people. This is what's about to happen.
It's a number, so I'll try to get that information and see what the actual fines and stuff are.
It's about to happen, and this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I do understand, sometimes dogs dig out of the fence, and, you know, those kinds of things can be checked, and we know when you're trying to take care of your dog.
And I'm sure Officer Wilson can tell you, it's some of the same areas over and over. So I know that's frustrating, but Todd, we do appreciate the effort. They don't give out a lot of gold medals for you and Carrie. Y'all are tough jobs, but they have to be done. I mean, these are positions that are very highly regarded. We appreciate the work you guys.
Mayor, before Drew takes a hit when they went for putting the valves on these things, we just passed $572,496 for the Dawson cutoff, and that's not all of it. There's a lot of $20-some-odd sewage fees that are gonna come, that it's gonna take for that. So before anybody complains about the sewage, remember, that's not even half the bill. $572,496 that we passed tonight for one little section of sewage to go across the river.
And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that Eastover preliminarily, this is all preliminary. I know what the numbers are. If you're getting stuff now, I think it was like 1.4. I know it was over $1 million, but at the same time, I think that was $8,400 you just added on to it. It would be very cost effective to do something like that. So, and we've been trying to be tougher on that kind of stuff. But you know, our problems are not unique to our city, and I'm glad to know that part of it. When I loop up and talk to other folks, it's like, oh, okay, maybe things aren't so bad. Anyway, is there anything from the audience?
I just want to agree with him about the dog cats, and you need to put it where people can get it. If the dog somebody reported that the dog was running around in the community. They need to let somebody know and they need to get rid of it because I got them running around me. I got plenty of dogs running around there. They ain't tired, they ain't got no leash. They just run. I'm slow down on the
We
cat.
were gonna have a property hearing before the meeting. I think we need to adjourn this meeting and then we can have the property meeting, if that's okay. All right, is there a motion to adjourn? Motion seconded, all in favor?
Let's see,
Come back. I don't get too much.
I have a problem.